There we go, and we're all live, so there we go.
So today's agenda, a brief introduction, all about the Personal Finance Portal. I'm also going to talk about the team here at Prismatic Wealth and what we've been doing over lockdown, just to bring everyone up to date. We'll then get stuck into the Personal Finance Portal, and as I say, we've set aside some questions and answers. We've assumed that the whole session will last 20-25 minutes. We didn't want to take up everyone's lunch time. Obviously, if there's lots of questions, it'll possibly last a little bit longer. So over to introduction, please, Gavin. So yes, what's today all about? Our online client portal has proved invaluable for us during the pandemic, and more of our clients are now using it. And so you can get the most out of it, we thought we'd organise today's little demonstration. So we've organised today's webinar to run through how you can get the most out of the portal. If you haven't yet registered, don't worry, Gavin will be talking that through. Equally, if you have registered and you haven't used the full range of features on the PFP, hopefully we can demonstrate those all for you. Gavin, just as by way of introduction, works for Intelliflo, who is the software provider behind our portal, and he's going to help us demonstrate the portal to everyone this lunchtime. So, next slide, please, Gavin. I thought I'd just take the opportunity to introduce the advisor team to everyone. So you will know who your advisor is. We've got Gillian, top row, left, beginning at the left-hand corner, followed by Simon and Joanne. Bottom row, Graham, Jonathan, and myself as well. Why I wanted to talk about your team here at Prismatic Wealth, and if you move over to the next slide, please, Gavin. I wanted to sing the praises of the unsung heroes here at Prismatic Wealth, who is the administration team. So a lot of you will receive messages and communication from the admin team, and you've possibly never met them face to face. So I thought it'd be nice to share some photos. So starting at the top row, left side, we've got Rebecca, Andrea, Ethan, and Katie. Middle row, starting at the left, we've got Amy, Donna, Katie Tang, and Lauren. And the bottom row, we've got Seb. And I've also put the reception team on there as well. So we've got Jackie and Dawn. So should you contact the office, your calls will initially be taken by Jackie and Dawn on the bottom row. Thank you. So yes, what we've been doing throughout lockdown. Well, the office is reopened and we're holding a mixture of face-to-face meetings. We're obviously following all social distancing requirements and virtual meetings as well. We do expect virtual meetings to continue for the foreseeable future. Lots of clients have really grown to like our virtual meetings. They're very flexible and obviously they can be held in the convenience of your own home. Other initiatives that we've rolled out during the pandemic, you'll be used to receiving our Week in Review newsletters. Here on the corporate side, we've launched our Illuminate scheme member newsletter. Equally, we've held and organised monthly seminars. So if you've registered and joined any over the last couple of months, we've had seminars with the Bank of England, and we've covered lots of topics such as mental health and life after lockdown. We also hold regular updates with fund managers. So again, if you've registered, hopefully you've attended one of those and you found them very informative. We've also looked to spend and invested a lot of time in the Personal Finance Portal, which we are demoing today. And we see this as part of the way that we will communicate with you moving forward. Thank you, Gavin.
Right, let's actually show you what you're here to see then, the personal finance portal. So let me bring my relevant screen up, 2 seconds. Hopefully you're all seeing the personal finance portal. I've shared the right screen there. And we're actually going to start off. We're going to start off on this landing page, the main page that you can see here. And you can see the web address we're going to. There is a slide later on that gives you a bit more detail, but it is just literally Prismatic Wealth limited.mypfp.co.uk. So you can navigate to that from your web browser on your computer or your Mac. You could go there on your phone or on your tablet, and it'll work on all of them. And this is a really good place to start, because you can see straight away there is actually an introduction video that you can view. So this will give you information about the portal and why you might want to use it, some of the functionality around it, and the same sort of information is listed below for yourself as well. So all the information about secure messaging, how you can upload and store your documents, and has access to open banking, so you can link your bank accounts to this as well. There's also a really useful link right at the bottom here. It's a user guide one. So if you're ever stuck, you can actually click on that user guide link. It will load up a separate tab and it will give you some information. So if you're not sure how to register or how to use open banking or look at the profile or the messaging functionality that we're going to look at, well, this user guide will take you through. And that is not only available on the main landing page here, that user guide link all the way at the bottom, but you'll actually have access to it at every page you go into via the portal. So once you're logged in, that will become available to you as well. So firstly, well, how do you register? How do you actually get signed up to this personal finance portal? Well, you see there's a little register button here. We press that. It's going to take me through to the next page, and all we need to do is pop in your email address. Just type in whatever email address you've supplied Prismatic Wealth with. Click the lovely "I'm not a robot" tick box that's predominant on most web pages now, and then say start registration. That will send you an email. It may well go to your junk folder. It comes from a no reply address, so please make sure you check your junk folder. And there'll be some links in there for you to follow. It will ask you some security questions, such as your date of birth, maybe a national insurance number as well. And then once you've gone through that registration, you'll set a password on the account and you'll be able to log into the system. The personal finance portal is a secured website. You can see there's a little padlock showing there, so you can see it's using the 256-bit encryption that your bank accounts use as well. So it's all along that same level of encryption, and you can enable a 2-factor authentication with the personal finance portal as well. It is something we recommend, so that when you're logging in, it's not just a username and password, but you might have an app on your phone and you go through and type in a code on the web page as well. So if you want to have that added level of security, it will guide you through that as you register for the portal. Otherwise, you can just press login. I've got my credentials saved on this browser, so it's remembering my details here. I actually haven't got 2-factor authentication enabled, but I have no specific client detail on here, but it is something we would recommend you get signed up for. You can see this is the PFP page. This is what you're going to see when you first logged in. And you can see right at the top there, you're going to see your advisor's details, not only a picture of them, but also their telephone number, their name, and a quick contact button. So if you wanted to send a message to your advisor, simply single left click that contact button. You can be able to type in whatever the subject is about, whatever that message is. You can add any attachments from your computer as well if you want to, and send that message. This isn't actually an email, it's what's called a secure message, and it's even more secure than emails. It's a direct message to the IntelliFlow system that Prismatic use. Your advisor will get a notification straight away, and they'll be able to view any attachments, view the content of that message, and respond to you immediately. A bit further over, if you wanted to, you could upload your own picture onto this as well. It will show your name. There is a hard log out button on the system here, but it will also automatically time out after 15 minutes. So if you walk away from it, if you leave it on a tab and forget you've signed into it, don't worry, the system will automatically time you out. Finally, there's a menu button here, and this is your quick way of navigating through all of the features of the personal finance portal. So if you wanted to go to messages straight away, you could do that from the menu. You also have the option using these squares below, these widgets below, of getting into these sections as well. And you can customize this. So the default view will look pretty much like this in this order. But if you wanted to move things around, you can actually click and drag these sections to wherever you might want to use them. So you can personalize that for your particular PFP login. But let's break down some of these sections. Let's look at the messages first of all. This is where your advisor is going to communicate with you. This is where they're going to send messages. And you can see by opening that section up, I actually get 3 tabs along the top. So firstly, it's the messages they've sent to you, the inbox. And you can see here, I've got a few documents that need signing and some reminders about those. Or if your advisor has sent you a message, you can click on that. If you want to respond to that, you simply just press the reply button. It will show you the message history around that, the audit trail. And if you have already started writing a reply, it will populate in the message. Otherwise, you can then start free typing in there. As before, you do have an attach file option. So if you want to attach anything to your computer, you absolutely can do. If you want to look at messages that you've sent, you can go to the Sent Messages tab, and this will show you the full history of any messages you've sent. And then finally, if you're looking at messages that you started writing but haven't yet finished, you can go to that Draft Messages section, and we can either delete it if we actually decide we don't want to keep that, or we can carry on writing that message. And when we're happy, just press the Send button. Finally, if we did want to create a brand new message from within the Messages widget, I can press Compose Message, fill out exactly the same detail, add an attachment, pop a subject in there, type a message in there, and when I'm happy, press Send. My advisor is going to get that notification straight away, and it's ready for them to respond. Let's go back to that main homepage. The next square, the next widget that's along here is all about the documents. So this is where your advisor is going to send you documents for you to view, or as you can see here, I've actually got ones that I can sign as well. So let me click that Go to Document section. And this is broken down to two different areas. So once my little laptop catches up with me, the first section we're going to get is actually your documents. So if you wanted to, you could upload and store documents within your PFP account. You have 100 megabytes of storage, and all you've got to do is choose to upload a document, browse to wherever that document is stored, press open, and choose whether you want to share that with your advisor or not. So if they have sent you something that you need to print out and sign, send back to them, you have the option to scan it back in and upload it. And if you wanted to, you could do that from your phone, uploading it and maybe grabbing it from a Dropbox that you've uploaded the document to, or any other sort of storage that you might have on your phone or tablet. Once you've sent that, your advisor will be notified that you've shared a document with them, and then they can interact with it and do what's necessary. For those documents that the firm has sent to you, so Prismatic has sent across to yourself, they're going to appear under this Advisor Documents area. And you can see you either have the option to download them. If they're just plain documents that you can access, you can just press the download button and it will open that document up in the normal manner. Or if it is a DocuSign one, if it does require a signature, it actually is going to prompt you. It's going to tell you this one needs signing. You can click on that document and it will take you through to the DocuSign area of PFP. Now, if it is the first time you've gone in there, you will need to agree to the electronic records and signatures, and you will need to set up what you want your signature to look like. So you can see the document will show. We can scroll through and read the information around it. And then where the signature is required, it will prompt you. You can then click to sign. In this case, because it is the first time, it's asking me to adopt a signature of what I want it to look like. I can even draw one or upload one if I've already got one saved on the system, or I can take the DocuSign default. It will jump me to the next section that needs signing. Obviously, I could scroll back up and read the rest of that document. And then when I'm done, I can either press the finish button, or I can come out of this and finish it off later. Under more options, I do have the option to sign on paper, to print it out, or if I'm not happy with the information, I can decline it and then get back in touch with my advisor. Once I'm happy though, all I do is press the finish button. That whirs away. What you'll see, it's going to take me back to that document section, and it's going to update that to show that that document has been signed. There you go. That's a document signed on that one. And then if I wanted to, I can go into the next one as well. So hopefully you've seen how easy that is for you to interact with via the PFP system. Go back to the profile, or back to the home page here. And the next one we're going to look at is actually the profile widget. Now, this is your data that Prismatic hold about you. So this is a great place for you to come, review the information, maintain it, and update it if necessary. So if I click on Go to Your Profile, what we can see, first of all, it's going to give you some information. Now, if you don't want to see this message every single time, simply unclick that. But it will tell you what the profile area is about, why you might want to use it, and encourage you to come in here and fill out the details. You can see it's broken down to 3 simple sections. We're going to ask you information about you and your family, the home and contact, and finally your finances. Each of these sections does need to be completed before you can move on. As you can see, I've got green ticks in mine. I've gone in and filled mine out ahead of this call, ahead of this demo. But if you had no ticks in here, you would need to start on you and your family and fill those out sequentially until you can get to home and contacts and so on from there. You don't have to do it all in one go. You can come in and out of this whenever you find time. So if you have 10 minutes spare, you could log in on your phone or your tablet or your computer and start adding information in, or you could review the details held against you and press save and come out at any point. But if I go into you and your family, again, you'll see that's then broken down to several sections. So firstly, we're going to ask about you. Because I've got mine filled out, it's jumped me through. But if I start at the beginning, you'll see it's all interactable forms. I can then press next and I can review the information held about my client record. And by continuing to press next, I can fill out these options here. At any point though, I do have a review button at the top. So if I don't want to use these options, these tick boxes along the bottom, I can just press review and I can see all of that information in one go and update it as necessary. So as I said, it's a really good place for you to come in, double check the details that are held against you and update them if necessary. So if you've, let's say, recently started smoking, you could change the answer there. If your marital status has changed, you could update that information as well in any way that you need to. And once you're happy, just press that save and close button at the bottom of the form. We'll then ask you about your family information. Here you can add in any dependents, any spouses, or anything along those lines. Employment is going to be asking you not only about your current employment, but maybe your previous employment history as well. So feel free to fill out as much information on here as possible. All of this detail will be sent through to your advisor, so it helps them build up that picture of how they can best assist you. The next section we do have in profile is all about the home and contact details. So if I click on this little circle first of all, you'll see first of all we're going to ask you about your home itself. And as before, if the information is there, it's good for you to come in and be able to review this using that edit button, or you can add in a new address if you wanted to. This is linked to Zoopla, so you could go through the form, popping in things like your postcode. As you'll see, it's going to start grabbing pictures of where it is. We press find address, it's then going to give us a list of those addresses at that particular postcode. And as we start picking more information, it then starts zooming in for me. And when we press next, we'll go off and get the details linked to Zoopla. We can adjust that property value if we wanted to. We can press next and adjust that purchase date and when you purchased it. And then we can add it in. And as before, we have that review button. So rather than go through these options along that journey there, I can jump ahead and choose review. I just discard those changes though, in my case. If I want to add previous addresses, I could do that as well via that same feature, that same tool. Once you've got your home address in there, it's then all about the contact information. This is a really useful section for yourself. If your mobile number changes, if your home phone number changes, if your email address changes, and you want to let your advisor know, you can actually jump into the portal and you can come in here and start editing these records or adding new contacts in. Maybe you've got an alternative phone number you want them to reach out to you on. You can actually add those in via this feature as well. Finally, within the profile section, we're going to tell you details about your plans, your income and expenditure under the Your Finances area. So firstly, any plans that are already recorded for you, any of the ISAs or GIAs or pensions that you might already have, these are going to show under that section there, just with some simple information. If you did notice anything was missing here though, you could add a new account or policy in. So if you notice they haven't got your bank account showing there or your current account in there at all, you can actually choose to add that one in yourself and add all the relevant information around it. Otherwise though, you can just view them from there. The next section is all about the income and expenditure though. So what do you spend on your council tax? What do you spend on your electricity and everything else? Well, you can actually add this into the PFP system yourself. And the benefit behind this is obviously it's there ready for your advisor to review. So when you have a meeting with them, they have access to all this detail. So we can click on the relevant sections. I can go to my expenditure, say, great, I want to update my bills. By going in here, I can see what I've already got, if anything at all. And if I want to, I can add in an expenditure and say, great, let's add my council tax in there. I can pop a description in if I want to. I can say how much I spend, whether that's a month, a year, fortnight, however you get charged. and then just press the save and close. And once again, that's going to notify your advisor for you. It's always useful to pop in as much detail in here as you can to help them with those conversations so they know how they can best assist you. I'm going to jump back one stage here to the main profile area. What you'll see on the right hand side here is I've got this extra box called linked accounts. This is something to do with open banking. This is how you can link your bank account to the personal finance portal. We'll come back to this in a little bit. The benefit behind that is if you do link your bank accounts to it, you can automatically bring your income and expenditure into the PFP system. So it's automatically going to notify your advisor, and you're in total control of that. You have the option of when you want to do that at all stages. Carrying on then, back to that main home page, you can see we've gone through those top three, those messages, those documents, and the profile section. We're now down to these ones at the bottom. So then you can see the tasks here are a great way for your advisor to remind you about certain actions that you might need to complete. So in this case, I've got a task out to me saying, get information on my pension. What I can do is I can actually click on this and it will show me any notes that have been added as well, and when that might be due. So this one's overdue. I might need to action that. But as you can see here, to allow us to get information, please print, sign, and return the letter of authority that has been sent. You then just need to upload it and share it back with that advisor. And as you saw, that was just done through that document and the upload feature. From time to time, you may see new tasks get assigned to you, and you just need to read those and interact as necessary. Insights are a way that you can create email alerts from the PFP system for you. So if I press the little cogwheel there, it'll take me into the settings. I can choose what sort of email alerts I get from the PFP system. So for instance, if I wanted to enable an insight against my top 5 expenses, and I want to get that every single week, then I can choose that option there. If I want to get one about my net worth, and I want to get that a monthly or fortnightly, I can get an email alert from my PFP account that tells me what my net worth is, and if there's any value or percentage change over that period, and then I can choose how often I want to receive that. Simply tick the boxes you want and then press apply changes at the bottom. What you might want to do is regularly come back in here and see if there are other email alerts you want to receive from the system. We then move on to the goals area, and you can see this is an area where you can come in and view the goals that you might have spoken about with your advisor already, or add in your own goals. If you know you're saving for a house or you want to put money aside for the future, and you haven't spoken to your advisor about that already, then you can come in here, you can create one, you can link it to a particular plan that you might be having your savings on. You can say what you're trying to do, what maybe the target value of that is, and if there's a particular date you're saving towards. What that does, that is then going to alert your advisor to let them know that you've added a goal in. That's going to help them with any conversations they might have. All you need to do then is press confirm goal. Back to that main page, the last sort of square that we've got here is all around your portfolio. And this is where you're going to be able to press view portfolio. It will show you a list of the plans that you currently own, that you currently hold, and the current value against each of those. What you can then do, you can actually click on any of these plans. So I can click on my general investment account here, and it's going to take me into more detail behind that particular plan. I could choose to look at more of a historical reign if I wanted to. If you have 3 years worth of valuation history, click up to that length. Scrolling down, you can see any funds that are held against that. You can also see the list of valuations on there. And if you notice it's incorrect, you do have the option to add your own valuation in there as well, whether that's just a figure, or whether you just want us to automatically total up the funds for you. When you pop that in there, it'll ask you for the date. Press the add button, and you'll see that valuation screen updates to show that you have now reflected, you've now updated that. And again, your advisor is going to be notified that your plan is updated. You can access that list of plans, as I said, through that portfolio button there, that view portfolio option. You can also get there via the top here. You'll see there is an assets tab in here as well. And it's sort of another easy way for you to get there. But what this does, this will show you the whole net worth, not just that one plan. And it will give you an overview of those as well, or a detailed breakdown. And just as before, we've got the option to change the number of months. We could decide we just don't want to see pensions, or we only want to see investments. We have the ability to change the colors if you are colorblind. You can change the type of graph it brings through, or anything else that you might need to do on that side of things. Just as we did on that portfolio widget on that main screen, I can click on a particular category. If I have multiple plans, it will show me those. I've only got the one here, but again, I can expand that. I can look around any contributions or withdrawals on my test plan. And I do have that update value button again. So hopefully you can see how that's useful. It's a great place for you to come and start looking at your plan information, and you can look at the values yourself and even maintain those if you need to. Final section I want to show you within the PFP account then is this spending tab. This is the way that you can link your bank account, your cash accounts, your credit cards to the PFP system. It will then automatically pull that detail through. Now, I haven't got one linked on this particular system here, but I'll show you a screenshot in just a little while of how that's going to look. Again, when you first come in here, it's going to give you some information around this. It's going to tell you what you're looking for and how you're in control of all of this as well. If you want to add a new one in, as you can see, I've got nothing to display at the moment. I can do my link another account at the bottom. I can then choose which provider it is, but the important one here, it's a really useful one, is what is open banking. You can see there's another tab here. Oh, always good to get a nice technical error. Bear with me just 2 seconds. Let's try that one again. There we go. So you can see what is open banking. Well, it will give you some information around it. So it shows you why it's secure and why you might want to use it. It's using the government defined API. So it's using the what's called the PSTD2 Payment Services Directive. So it's a very secure one. It's not one we've written ourselves. We're following their rules. It will link your accounts to the personal finance portal for a maximum of 90 days, after which you will need to re-grant permission. But don't worry, you'll be sent a reminder to do that. So if you do link it up and you decide actually it's not for you, but you forget to unlink it, the system will automatically forget that for you. It'll let you know that it is regulated under the particular Financial Conduct Authority, what the benefits of using it are, and in particular, Prismatic are going to be able to see the overall total of your bank account, but they're not going to be able to see the individual transactions unless you choose to share that. So you're in control at all times. And at any point, if you wanted to, you could unlink your bank account from the PFP system. You can see if we are going to add a new one in, these are the list of bank accounts and providers that would allow it to do. Vast majority there, such as your Monzas, your Santanders, your NatWest, and all the rest of it. And all you would need to do is click the relevant provider. You're going to be given the information, a consent form. Once you've read that and tick the I give consent, you'll then be able to press continue. That will take you through to the relevant bank accounts page. In my case, I clicked on Santander, so it'll take me through to my Santander login page. I'll pop in my Santander bank account information, and it'll ask me which account, if I do have multiple ones, do I want to link with the PFP account. After that's done, it takes about an hour for all that information to come across the PFP system, but then it'll link everything together and you'll be displayed in your PFP account all of that income and expenditure in a nice, easy way. And I will just show you a screenshot of that just at the end of this session, so you get an idea of how that might look and why you might want to do it. So that, as you can see, is the functionality behind the PFP system. You can see all those squares with the messages, the documents, your profile, your data, your information that you can maintain and update, and the other widgets within the system itself. As I said, at all times, you can get into that user guide page to help you out. But the last thing I wanted to show you is how you might install this as an app as well, because it's all well and good using it on a computer. As you can see, I'm just navigating through a web browser. But if you wanted to install this as an app on your phone or your tablet, well, you can do that as well. Now, it's not available via the Apple Store or the Google Store as an app itself. What you need to do is navigate to the relevant web page and use the Get the App button. So let me demonstrate that for you. I'm going to log out of this. What I can do with my web browser, I can change it so it works as a phone device. So I can press the necessary buttons here. And when I've done that, what you'll see is when you've navigated to that prismaticwealthlimited.mypfp.co.uk, you'll have an extra button here called Get the App. You simply single left click that, and it will then say, great, do you want to install this? Or if you are using an iPhone device, you may need to press the 3 dots and say add to home screen. That will save an icon for you on your phone, just as if it was an app. And then every time you click on that, it's going to give you that same functionality went through. It's going to give you access to those messages, those documents, that profile area, all for you to start using. If you get any problems installing that app though, please do reach out to your advisor. Right, so let's just show you that open banking, that spending tab when it's actually got data in it. So let me just change my screen back. And there we go. So that's what you will get once you have linked your bank accounts to the PFP system. You can see it's going to give you a nice pie chart in this case. I've selected the expenditure, but you can see there is an income section there as well. You'll have the option to change the number of months you view. By default, I think it will start off at a month, but you can go up to a year. It will categorize all of your income and expenditure, and you could click on any of those areas and recategorize them as needed. Any questions about anything we've seen there? If not, let me pass you back over to Juan.
Thank you, Gavin. So I was actually just going to show everyone I'm on the PFP app as well, and I use both my laptop to access my own pension details, but I also use the app, and I prefer the app to be honest. But there you go. So I don't know if there's any questions as Gavin's just asked, but basically, in summary, we hope you found today's demo really useful and informative. That the PFP can be as simple as you want it to be. Equally, it's got the scope for you to add more plans and more of your finances. And obviously, Gavin's just touched upon open banking as well. The thinking here is that rather than individuals, as we all have, having multiple logins for lots of different financial relationships, the PFP allows you to have everything in one place to simplify your finances moving forward. So what we'd like to say is that your advisor and the administration team can help you register and get the most out of the portal. So at your annual review meetings and conversations with your advisor, please raise the portal and we'll talk it all through with you. We suggest that you actually create a shortcut to the portal if you're using your laptop, so you don't need to type in the website address each and every time. Alternatively, if you log on through the app like I've done, I personally find that the most straightforward way of doing things. So as Gavin has talked about, through your phone, you would just go to the Prismatic Wealth mypfp.co.uk website address, and from there it will allow you to get the app and get yourself registered. Equally, you can do it through our website. So if you do go onto our website, if you see the big red arrow there, you can log on to the PFP through our website moving forward as well. I'm just checking if there's any questions or answers. We have recorded this session, but as I say, if you're a little shy and you want to digest everything, please feel free to get yourself registered and just explore the portal. And again, we can talk it through at your next annual review meeting. So if there's no questions, as it appears there isn't, I'd like to thank everyone for your time this lunchtime, and take the time to log in, and thank you again. Thank you very much. Thank you.